So today I'll be talking about how to gain speed and athleticism as a footballer now. As we all know, football today, there's an extra emphasis on speed, on power and explosiveness. So today I'm going to be teaching you how to get faster, how to get more explosive. Now the first point is plyometrics. Now, what are plyometrics? Plyometrics are literally just ground-based exercises that help you just get more explosive, help you build those fast twitch muscle fibers. So I'm talking about exercises such as box jumps, such as squat jumps, such as burpees, such as skater hops, like all these sort of ground-based exercises. You don't need any equipment for them. Literally, you can just practice them in your home, outside in the park, on the training pitch. You can do, and you can literally do any of these anywhere. Like you don't need any equipment. They're so simple to do. So just make sure you progress on these and just get good at these, and you should see your athleticism improve. So as well as this, you should be incorporating sort of agility work as well, because as we know in football, it's not like a 100-meter race where you're just going at top speed in a straight line. You're gonna have to move, you're gonna have to cut, you're gonna have to change direction. So obviously incorporate some ladder work in this as well. Incorporate some lateral shuffles and do some cone work as well. Weaving in and out of cones without the football. Just literally just placing the cones and just weaving in and out of them, changing direction, just making sure your change of direction is good, that you're explosive, whether that's going right, going left, going forward, going backwards. So that's the first point. Literally plyometrics, so ground based explosive work, along with some agility work, because like I said, you're not just going backwards and forwards. You're gonna have to change directions during the game. So that's the first point. And then the second point literally is, I know it sounds silly, but it's literally just learning how to sprint. Now, a lot of footballers, they don't actually train like how to sprint. Like the only time a footballer will actually sprint or do any sort of sprinting is when they're in like a 1v1 action, or maybe they're tracking back for their team. Maybe their team is getting hit on a counter attack and they're tracking back and they have to sort of sprint to get back. But a lot of footballers, including me, we don't actually like train how to sprint, like, because majority of the football game is like you're probably running at like 60-70%. It's more sort of like a heavy jog sort of thing. It's more like an intense jog. It's very rare. It's only in certain actions where you're gonna have to fully sprint. So a lot of footballers who don't train sprinting don't actually know how to sprint. And I was one of them. Like I remember I did my first like proper sprint training at like what? At like 18 or something. And I remember I woke up the next day, my hamstrings, my glutes, they were all done. They were all finished. And I was like, okay, that's a proper like sprint session. Like a lot of people, they don't really know like the proper technique and everything. So literally, in my opinion, what you should do, you should just go out to the training pitch, maybe watch a few videos and just learn the technique on actually how to sprint, actually how to get top speed. You know, there's certain things, little things I learned about, what I'm saying, having a tall stride, actually exploding off the ball of your foot, not actually exploding off the ball of your foot, not actually what do you call it? Not on like the palm of your foot. And literally, yeah, just having a tall stride, making sure your arms are all right, and actually learning how to sprint. Because beforehand, I would never practice sprinting, and I'd always think to myself like, damn, like how come I'm not getting faster? How come maybe I'm in a 1v1 and then the winger will kick it and I'll try my best to run, but then obviously he'd outpace me. Let's say I was a CDM and I'd be covering for like a right back, and then what's it called, the left winger will go 1v1, or the left winger will run in behind, and I'd always be like, damn, like I'm not slow, but like I'm never there, I'm never catching him. And that's literally because I didn't know how to sprint. And I feel like a lot of young players, they don't actually practice like actually how to sprint. They simply just play football, they play in the match, and obviously like I said, in the match is literally just, you're probably running at like 70% most of the time, and there's only like maybe one or two occasions that you're going all out. So like I said, make sure you watch videos online on how to sprint, the proper technique, and how to get faster, basically. Because trust me, in those actions, in those times where you're gonna have to make a running behind, where you're gonna have to track back, when you're gonna have to defend 1v1, trust me, it's gonna pay off. You're gonna need to sprint. You're gonna need to use all your pace, all your explosiveness, especially if you're coming up against guys who are quick like Vinicius, guys like, I don't know, guys like Alfonso Davies flying down the wing, guys like Hakimi. When you come up against guys like this, you're gonna need everything. you need to take everything that you can get, basically. So that's the next point. Literally just, I know it sounds silly, but most footballers don't actually train like do sprint training. So in my opinion, just do sprint training, learn proper technique, and you should be good. Now the last point is about what to do if you go to the gym. So as a young player, you may not have a gym membership, but if you do have a gym membership, there's certain exercises, in my opinion, that will get you right, that will get you explosive. So where I'm talking about exercises like literally the basic squat, the RDL, the trap bar deadlift as well, and also the hip thrust. Now, obviously the squat, we all know the squat, that's for your quads. That's for gaining the power in your quads. That's pretty self-explanatory. But the RDL and the trap bar deadlift, the reason why you want to do these exercises, because these exercises, they help with your hamstrings. Now, the hamstrings, I know it doesn't seem like your hamstrings really do anything, but trust me, your hamstrings, they're your accelerators, they're your decelerators. So if you strengthen your hamstrings, then obviously you're going to be way quicker off the mark, and also you're going to be way quicker decelerating, slowing down. And why do you want to be quick slowing down? So you can change direction. So if I'm running forward and I need to change direction, I can sort of slow down, cut through the corner and change direction easily. Your hamstrings, they're your decelerators and your accelerators. So it's very important to train those. So make sure you're doing your RDLs and you're doing your trap bar deadlifts as well. These improve athleticism a lot. And also with those, especially with the trap bar deadlift, you're still working your quads, you're still working your hamstrings, still working your glutes, still working your calves as well. So to be fair, trap bar deadlift, that's probably like the ultimate exercise for footballers. So if you are going gym, make sure you're doing it. Make sure you're doing your squat, your trap bar deadlift. Also incorporate RDLs. And then the last one I'd say is hip thrust. Now, in the gym, there's a misconception that hip thrusts are only for the girls. Like you see the girls, they got just mad weight on their hip thrust. But trust me, there's a reason why that you see top athletes using the hip thrust. It's literally because it helps with your athleticism, because obviously it targets your glutes. And the thing is, even if you look at sprinters, yeah, sprinters, they don't really have the biggest sort of quads. Like it's when it comes to like your pace and your running power, it's not really about your quads. It's more about your hamstrings and your glutes. If you actually even their trainers always say this, that most sprinters don't really have developed quads, but it's more their hamstrings and their glutes that are developed. That's what really gives them the power. It's more the posterior chain, so like the muscles at the back of their body, so as opposed to the front of their body. So make sure you're doing your hip thrust, even if you're walking into the gym thinking, oh nah, this exercise is for girls. Like I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to like what's it called, get my bum bigger. Like what do I look like? Am I a batty man? But trust me, there's a reason why the top athletes. There's a reason why the top athletes do this. It's literally for explosiveness, for athleticism. Just go in the gym and just tell yourself, yo, this is for the benefit of my game. This is for the benefit of my speed and explosiveness. So, in my opinion, when you go to the gym, those are the main four to get your explosiveness up. It's either squat, it's the squat, it's the trap bar deadlift, your RDLs, and your hip thrust. In my opinion, obviously there's different variations. I would say as well, don't just do variations with like, obviously do one-legged variations as well. So you can do Bulgarian split squats, you can do single leg RDLs as well. Obviously incorporate the single legs for good balance and coordination. I think you should do that as well. So yeah, but those are the main four in my opinion: the squat, trap bar deadlift, RDL, and the hip thrust. Like I said, incorporate those single leg variations. But if you do these four, you should see a massive improvement in your explosiveness, because your legs just get stronger. Your quads, hamstrings, glutes, calves, all of that just gets stronger. And make sure, last thing as well, when you're doing these exercises, make sure that, let's say a squat for example, make sure that you go down slowly with it, and then you explode up quickly. Don't put on so much weight on the bar, because as a footballer, don't put so much weight on the bar to the point where you're struggling, you're trying to really like move the bar. Obviously you can do that maybe once in a while just to test your strength, but mainly you're looking for power. And our power is the amount of weight you can put on the bar, but also how fast you can actually move that weight. So you're just looking for how fast you can move that weight, because obviously in a football match you're not going to have time to be down here and then really trying to lift the weight. Like, you're not a power lifter. Football, you're gonna be there. If you're jumping for a header, you're there. So literally, when you're lifting the weight, literally, let's say a squat, have it on your back, go down slowly, and then explode up. Go down slowly and then explode up. Literally use that for every single exercise. Literally go down slowly and then try explode up. So if that means you putting less weight on the bar, so be it. But like I said, every once in a while you can try test your strength just to see where you're at. But the majority of the time, just make sure it's slowly and then you come up and you explode. So that's how you increase your speed and your explosiveness. So hope you enjoyed the vid. I've been JT and I'm out.